Like most British people, my knowledge of ice skating begins and ends with the fact that an insurance book clerk and policeman became the highest scoring figure skaters of all time for a single programme, receiving 12 perfect 6s and 6 5.9s, which included artistic impression scores of 6.0 from every judge after skating to Maurice Ravel's Bolero at the Sarajevo 1984 Winter Olympics. But I, Tonya, claims that another interesting thing has happened in this sport. Starring the now Academy Award nominated Margot Robbie, this biographical film follows the life of figure skater Tonya Harding and her connection to the 1994 attack on her rival Nancy Kerrigan, which left her with a broken knee. In a way, it's your fairly typical awards bait film. Incredible and affecting performances throughout, it's based on a tragic true story, with a relatively low budget at a mere $11 million, and lots of opportunities for people to reflect on who the villains and victims are in a story full of not particularly nice people. With the exception of Kerrigan, who is in roughly 3 scenes, is more a plot device than an actual character. One trick that I did like is that instead of it being shot as a biographical film, I, Tonya features interviews with the characters set in a mockumentary style in the modern day, as well as enough fourth wall breaking to make Deadpool look restrained. And given that roughly everybody's an unreliable narrator, it's fun to see the present day interviewees disagree with each other, then watch a dramatic recreation of what actually happened. It's funny too, with quite a few moments worth chuckling about, but at others, it's a pretty tough watch as Harding is beaten by her husband, Sebastian Stan, and seemingly incapable of doing right in the eyes of her domineering mother, Alison Janney, in a role that's gotten her nominated for Best Supporting Actress. And whilst Harding does generally give as good as she gets and hardly ever comes across as a victim or someone to be pitied, at times the violence and relentless abuse seems almost voyeuristic, and in seemingly almost every scene, as we observe Harding grow from a 4-year-old girl into Margot Robbie. Very few scenes show happiness or joy, and at times the film seems as dismissive of Tonya's background, her tastes, her habits, her way of talking, as the skating world was in general. But despite everything, this isn't Robbie's film. I mean, she's fine in it, and we side with her on her quest to win in a world which clearly doesn't want, accept, and certainly doesn't know what to do with her, but that doesn't mean we always like her. She's abrasive and frustrating, 2 steps back for every step forward. Much has been made of Robbie's transformation for the role, but in truth, it's never an entirely convincing portrayal. The decision to introduce Robbie as the 15-year-old Harding is clumsily ill-advised, and while she's lively and forceful throughout, the process is always a bit too visible. No, this is Janney's film, who gives a towering, monstrous performance as Harding's vicious mother, spewing foul-mouthed bile in every possible direction. It's hardly nuanced work, but Janney's natural comic skills have never been utilised with quite such finesse, and we mourn her when she's off-screen. But with so much focus on Harding, she's in pretty much every scene and frame, there's no room for anyone else to breathe, let alone become developed, rounded characters, and the second half is the kind of thing that the Coen brothers would churn out in their sleep for a paycheck they weren't particularly sure if they wanted. And while it would have been nice for Kerrigan to be in the film a bit more, like I say, she's more a plot device than a person, and it would have been nice to see her in contrast to Harding as the golden girl of skating and a nemesis or a threat of some sort, as opposed to a whack-a-mole. Maybe this would have been better as a proper true life story as opposed to a documentary style. It would have allowed the characters to develop more as the interviews are used more as a gimmick than to add understanding to the film. A chance to see some ice skating, have the rules of it explained to us, have more understanding of what makes these people tick. Whilst watching I, Tonya, I liked it, but the more I thought about it, the more uneven it seemed, the more it felt like a missed opportunity to tell a very interesting underdog story that still resonates today. This is a motion picture with some amazing performances in a desperate search for a better film, and what a film it could have been. But as it is, if nothing else is on and you're desperate to see a sports movie during the Winter Olympics, check this out. Otherwise, just don't bother. But what did you guys think? And what is your favourite Olympics film that isn't Cool Runnings? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel. It's been a dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.